What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. Today we're going to be having a bit of fun with these two drills. We've got my newly purchased Milwaukee M18 Gen 3 hammer drill. We're going to compare it with my old trusty friend. We've had here my old reliable friend, the Dewalt 795. We're going to compare the two in probably the most difficult task that these drills have ever had to handle. We're going to start off with 30 centimeter screws. Now these ones here aren't your standard size screws by any means. So we've got here a 12-inch long screw. These are 18 gauge. We're going to test it out, see how well they can sink these screws, if at all. Once we've done with that, we're going to jump over to the auger. So we've got a brand new auger bit here. Once again, 30 centimeters long. That means it's 12 inches in length and it's 22 millimeters in diameter. So this is one tough auger bit. We're going to see if these drills can handle it. After that, we'll jump into some hammer drilling and we'll go through some concrete. So let's get started, guys. Let's do this. All right, guys, so before we get into the testing, let's quickly have a look at the specs. I'm not going to bore you guys, go through it very quickly. 18 volt, 18 volt. We've got a 5 amp hour battery, 4 amp hour battery. They're both fully charged, which I'll show you guys in a second. In terms of the amps per hour, it shouldn't make a difference in terms of performance. Full battery. Oop, full battery. So when we have a look at the two, both 2-speed, on high, 2000 RPM, on high, 2000 RPM. On low, we've got 550 RPM, on low, we've got 600 RPM. Now, when we compare these two here, the biggest difference you're going to find is when it comes to torque. Unbelievable here on the Milwaukee. We've got 135 Newton meters of torque on the Milwaukee compared to 60. That's right, 60 Newton meters of torque on this one here. Now, this one here is discontinued. So the new model that came out is a 996. Don't let that fool you. It only has an extra 10 Newton meters of torque. So that means this one here on the 996 is sitting at 70. Even if we went out and bought the most expensive Dewalt hammer drill, we're looking at 95 Newton meters. So there's a big difference between the two. I'm not going to go out and buy a brand new Dewalt drill just to test it out. That'll cost me $300. So we've got here my old one. Never had a task that this one here couldn't complete. And this one here is brand new. So we're going to test it out. I've got a lot of faith in this one and a lot of faith in this one here. But we're going to compare the two and see just how well they can handle these. All right, guys, we're going to start off with the Dewalt first. I'm going to give each drill 2 screws to screw in. One on high, one on low. So let's get started. Dewalt running on high. These ones here are star drives, so hopefully they won't move anywhere. But I do need to brace myself because I'm not using any kind of handle on the side of the drill. 3, 2, 1. Oh, just shy of it. That is a little bit disappointing. Let's have a look. You can see there, just the lip is just shy of it. I'm sure if I press the trigger again, it should go through. And that is maxed out, guys. That is as far as it's going to get. Let's try it on low. Once again, this time on low. 3, 2, 1. Nice, that was much better. So we can see there on the lower speed, we've got a lot more consistent torque and a consistent amount of power. So that one there was completely sunk down. However, when we had it on high speed, we weren't able to get it all the way down. I'll show you guys the difference between these two screws. So if we have a look here, this one here was on high. We've still got the lip sitting above the surface. When we compare it with this one here on the low, sunk it down nice and deep. So we've got that one countersunk. Let's move on to the Milwaukee. So this time around with the Milwaukee on high, I'll try put it next to this one here. 3, 2, 1. Well, yeah, that's got a lot of power, definitely in terms of speed, consistent power. Nice. Let's switch this one here on low and we'll try it again. Once again, 3, 2, 1. So there we have it, guys. When that was on low, fairly consistent until I got right down to the bottom. It started to struggle just a touch, but absolutely no problem. Very consistent. I'll show you guys the finish. So that's the difference there. We've got Dewalt on high, Dewalt on low, Milwaukee on high, Milwaukee on low. So not too bad all in all. I'm surprised they even got all these screws all the way down. Let's jump onto the auger and see how well it handles that. So we'll start off with the Dewalt again. This time around we're going to go all the way down until we hit this black mark here. So lucky we've got some black marking here. I'm not going to let the drill go all the way down. So it's going to be stopping at this distance here, and I'll show you guys, make sure I'm not cheating. So we'll stop it at the black marking and then I'll show you guys how we go. So let's get started. Dewalt first. This is probably the biggest bit you can actually fit in your 13mm chuck. Tighten that one there up. Might actually have an extra mil or two to spare. Put it on high and then we'll go into low. So Dewalt, starting, I'll move it closer to the middle. 3, 2, 1. So it was actually pretty good. Didn't struggle much. You can see the black marking there. Hopefully when this one here will focus. So that one there didn't struggle very much. It did bring it out nice and clean, fairly consistent. Can smell that pine. I love that smell. All right, so let's move it over onto low and we'll see how we go. So we'll switch this one here over to low. 3, 2, 1. Once again, that one there, down to the black marking, fairly consistent. Like I said, I've had no issues with my trusty old Dewalt here. Very, very nice drill. Let's put on the Milwaukee and see how much quicker we can get this one here down. Once again on high. Let's test it out. 3, 2, 1. Definitely much quicker. So let's have a look. Black marking once again, all the way down. I could go even a little bit more than that, but I mean, even with that extra little couple of millimeters, definitely this one here was a lot quicker. So let's switch it over onto low. Milwaukee on low. 3, 2, 1. And if we have a look, once again, all the way down, that one there did feel like it was a touch slower than the Dewalt, but we did have fairly good consistency here on this one here. So all in all, very happy with that. Let's jump over, we'll test out the hammer function. So what I've got here is a concrete paper that I've cut in half. You can see right through there, all the aggregates running through it. It's solid concrete. It's about 1 inch in thickness, so 3 centimeters. And what we're going to do is use our hammer drill. I'm using here masonry bits from Kango. We're going to use a 10mm drill bit and we're going to start off with the Dewalt. So I think 1 hole should be sufficient. 3, 2, 1. Hammer drill on. 3, 2, 1. Now that was unbelievable. Very nice there. I think it's safe to say we have a winner. So there we have it, guys. Milwaukee and Dewalt. Not a bad little test. That was a bit of fun for me and hopefully for you guys as well. What we did learn from this was that the more torque or the more power that we had, we were able to maintain that speed just a little bit better, and that meant that we were able to complete the job faster. Doesn't mean that the less torque you have, such as the Dewalt had 60 Newton meters of torque, we were still able to complete the task. It did take a bit slower and we did fall short by a couple millimeters on that one screw. But all in all, both very good drills. I've had this one here for a long time and I do know this one here is a very good reliable drill. This one here is a new one, but as you guys can see, plenty of power, plenty of speed. As always guys, like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Billshowto.